for a few minutes, and then we'll break down for some further interviews. Just ask that everybody, newspaper, TV, radio guys, that you would be patient. He'll try to be patient with you and try to get to everybody before we clear out of here. So thanks again, and Coach.
All right, thank you, Rob. I appreciate everybody coming out. I tell you, this is a challenging day. I've been reminiscing on so many hundreds of sentimental texts and emails and phone calls. I was going to try to come in here and put my tough guy face on, but I don't know if that's going to be able to do that today. But I just wanted to start off and first of all, thank my family. Courtney and I were trying to figure out how long we've been married. I think it's 27 years this July the 12th, because when you coach football, it's hard to keep track of sometimes. But want to thank my wife and kids, my family. Obviously, it's been a huge commitment from them the past 22 seasons. So I couldn't have done it without them. And then probably in no particular order, my direct staff, Coach Dillingham, Coach Burns, Donna and Terry, for taking care of so many things and making the football program a special place. Just a ridiculous amount of support that it takes to keep this thing we call Jenks football going. And then obviously you can't do it without great leadership in our district. Stretching back to Dr. Lehman, our former superintendent, the school board in 1996 that for some reason hired a guy that had never had any football head coaching experience. I have no idea how that happened. But most recently, and just a super blessing, is Dr. Butterfield, just a fabulous leader for our district. And she gets it. She understands that football is a great part of the curriculum here. And she's been a pleasure to work for. And very tolerant over the years to put up with me. But I want to thank her she has a tough job. So I'm hoping that with all the things we've got going on in education, that education lands on its feet, and because just like coaching football, I think we have the most important job of anybody, and that's working with kids. So I want to thank her and her staff. Obviously, Principal Mike Means was integral throughout my career. He's a great leader. Understood the importance of athletics. So I probably should have wrote them down, but there's thousands of others. But those are the people that I thought played an integral part of what we're doing here. And then so many great coaches that I've had the blessing of working with. Dozens and dozens of them. Many of them have gone on and become great head coaches and great leaders. But my current staff, we've gone a number of years without losing very many guys. And this particular group of guys we have right now are some of the finest leaders and mentors that I've ever, got to work with. So I want to thank them too. Which probably would maybe lead us into the second part of just why Coach Trimble is going to head out and maybe slow down just a little bit. It's a difficult thing, I told our players yesterday that I think I started playing football in 1976. I think that's a long time ago, and I don't think I've ever missed a season. I mean, I've either played, coached, or something since probably 7th grade, I think. I can't really remember that far back, but so to take a step and walk out and walk away from what that looks like is it's a tough one. And then I have to balance that with what is best for this football program here at Jenks. Let's face it, on my greatest day, I was not very athletic, okay? But now I'm not very athletic. I can't get around very good. And, this program deserves someone who can go full speed. And so that balance right there has been the tricky part for me. And what makes it tough is I've got coaches who have carried the load for me, for a couple of years. And I'm forever indebted to that. Great men. Hopefully you guys will do some good editing, right? But we have great men that are great people for our kids. And, I don't want to leave that. I mean, I don't know anything else I would do. But I think in my heart that it's time to get some new air in the sails, to put a man in my position that physically and emotionally can grind it out. And so that's kind of what I based my decision on. I don't know what I'm retiring to. My plan is never to work really, really hard and then just quit and walk away and do nothing. So I don't think that's my plan. I've been praying a lot about it. As I've been in coaching a long time, a lot more opportunities arise to mentor young men, to mentor coaches, to catch up with your former college players. And you just get older, your opportunities change a little bit. I mean, there's nothing better than relating to kids in a locker room, especially in today's culture and climate. Man, they've got to have a voice of reason in their ear. So I think the sport of football and coaching is still the best classroom. So I don't think I can walk away from that. I don't know what it looks like, obviously. So I'm not finished mentoring. But the way the teacher's retirement system works, I think I'll be finished. My last day, I think, is June 30th. And so it'll give me a little bit of time to reflect and pray and talk to some trusted people and kind of see what that looks like. It'll also give me a little bit of time to rest and try to take care of myself a little bit. ALS is very unforgiving. You get tired.
What about your foundation, Coach?
Yeah, let me catch my breath, Don. That's probably something that I'm most excited about. It's another opportunity. We've had some dear friends of ours help us organize a Trimble Strong Foundation, which is it's really blossomed. And it's going to give us another chance to mentor people. We've got basically four areas that we're going to concentrate on, and we're going to help some people with their adoption process. And we're going to, we sponsor a school in Honduras. And then also we've got, we're making arrangements for a couple of leadership scholarships for some great kids that we identify as, future great Christian leaders. And I've lost my mind, there's a fourth one, but, and we've got some work at a small church in New Orleans where we do a daycare and after-school tutoring session. But so I'm really excited, about that opportunity, and I think it also, selfishly allows me a chance to do what I've always done: work with people, work with kids, but maybe just identify maybe some different targets along the way. And it also, a retirement is going to allow me to go about it at a little bit different pace, which is the key. As I was mentioning, the disease is pretty unmerciful, and just you have to take your time, and you have to depend on people to help you out. So, but thanks for reminding me of that. I was going to talk about that later, but you know, one thing that would be great is just we're recruiting teammates for our foundation. There's a great website at trimble.org, and we would love to have as many teammates as we could have. And that's not just financial. There are so many great opportunities that we have out there, and you know, people in this school district that we were able to reach out and touch through the foundation. So looking forward to that. Thanks for bringing that to my mind, Don. But anyway, I don't know. I guess we could open it up now for questions if you have any from here, and then certainly we could make it more intimate later. But I'll do my best if you guys have any questions or anything.
Yeah, fire away, guys.
Allan, are you retiring altogether from the program? I mean, you have the dual title of director of football.
Yeah, this will be, you know, again, it's a full retirement from the teacher's retirement system. My last day is June the 30th. You know, the way the teacher's retirement is set up, you have a mandatory 60 days that you have to be completely separated from your school and your campus. And I mean, just to be honest with you, I haven't discussed, you know, with our human resources people, you know, coming back, I mean, officially coming back. But I mentioned to our players yesterday, you know, if the school district sorts through and we hire a person that would be comfortable with me sitting around helping them with equipment or filming practice or whatever, I mean, I don't know, I mean, why wouldn't I do that? I mean, it's what I enjoy doing. So yeah, it'll be a full retirement, and then, you know, after that'll put us somewhere probably in early September maybe, when I would be eligible to consider something else. Yeah.
So is your most prevalent emotion today sadness that it's ending, or are you able yet at all to look at the enormity of what you and the community did for 22 years?
That's a great question. You know, I don't think I was sad. I'm very sentimental, but then you have all these people that love you show up and start crying, Donna, and so it makes it very sentimental and sad. But you know, for me, it's not sad. I mean, it's not sad. I mean, Bill, you know where I'm from, right? I mean, you know the hallways of the mighty Cleveland High School. Okay, I mean, you could not dream of what has happened, you know, in my 35 years. I mean, you couldn't make it up, you know, so I would be foolish to be sad. But sentimental, yeah, pretty sentimental. So yeah, it's been I mean, you couldn't script it, you know, you couldn't even make it up. So it's been such a blessing. I mean, God has just blown it out. What else?
Coach, you talked about your staff the last couple of years, a little bit how they've helped you keep on going.
Mm-hmm.
When you think not just about them and the team, but just this whole community and the support you've gotten, what has that meant to you, them helping you coach the last couple of years?
Well, it's, you know, I mentioned this to our players. You know, both of my children graduated from here. They're lifers. I mean, we go to church here. You know, you can't, and the media does a wonderful job, don't get me wrong, but unless you have walked in that locker room, unless you have had a kid go to school here, you have no idea the foundation and the inertia that your kids get from this community and this school. I mean, it's ridiculous. So, you know, everything that Jenks tries to do, if your kid wants to be good at music, he's at the right spot. If he wants to be good in debate, he's at the right spot. If he wants to be national merit, he's at the right spot. I mean, it's a crazy thing. It's not brag, it's just fact. But the number of people, you know, the school board members who donate their time and yet still cast that vision and that expectation of excellence, I mean, I wouldn't trade this for nothing. It's been great.
Coach, over the difference between what we know if we've been in that locker room with you and then, you know, the rest of us know. So we talk about 242 victories and 13 state titles, and the fact that people all
I know it's not the trophies because I'd have been done a long time ago with that. You know, probably some of the great people in my life along my journey. I mean, all the way back to my high school football coach, Ron Wolf, who's a Jenks alumni, believe it or not, to some of the guys I coached with at Owasso, at Jenks. Kind of, you know, as a young man, as a young player, they lit my fire. They motivated me. They taught me the importance of being a good mentor and teaching, because, you know, right now coaching football the right way is very unpopular. In fact, it's countercultural. To get a group of kids to do what we get them to do is ridiculous by social standards right now. So probably what I'm most proud of is, and again, I'm not taking credit for it, but this environment, this Jenks environment, and namely in the locker room with coaches, has produced some great kids. I mean, they're great men. So maybe, I don't know, making the woodpile a little higher than it was when I got here. You know, yeah, I mean, that's it. You know, mainly just in helping young men become better young men.
Coach, what was it, you know, at the end of the season, you say you don't want to have time to reflect. What were those reflections like? And then you obviously traveled a bit. What were those reflections like from the end of the season to now that you did this season?
You know, God, Harold, if you know me, I jump over the fence so many times. But kind of like what I said a minute ago, you know, I've been so blessed. I mean, it's just ridiculous, the great people that have come our way. I mean, from the people I work for, the people I work with. I mean, can you imagine a coach getting to work with the kids that I mean, go down the roll list of the guys who have come through this high school and I get to coach. It's crazy. So ultimately, I just, I have to slow down a little bit. And in my heart, I feel like that me slowing down and putting someone else in this position will elevate our football program to a higher level. I mean, that's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. That's just kind of where I'm at, and there's a level of me that's very excited to see what happens next.
Let's go one more, guys.
Will you be
One more.
involved, Allan, in helping identify the next head coach here?
I haven't been contacted about that. And in fact, I don't even know if they've really discussed. I mean, in typical Jenks fashion, we'll post it. And I'm sure they'll put together a very good committee of good people and go move on. But they haven't asked me about that. You know, I don't know. That's a good question. One more, maybe. Somebody else.
What do you hope your legacy will be? How do you hope to be remembered?
Man, you'd be a good teacher. You stimulate great thought. You know, hopefully of doing things right, working really, really hard. And I don't know, maybe just being a good mentor, I guess. I don't know. I didn't really set out 30-some years ago wondering what my legacy would be. I was just hoping the bus was on time, you know? That's kind of how it is. Anything else?
Thanks, guys. We're going to give Coach a break for a minute, and we'll try to come back and get you a little bit more here in a second. So just be patient. Thank you.
Tony, can you try?
Oh, thank you.